Hey, digital dreamers, and welcome back to the deep dive.
Glad to be back.
If you're new to our little corner of the internet, this is kind of like your, all access pass, backstage pass to understanding the stuff that really matters.
Hmm.
We have a whole library of past deep dives waiting for you over on the channel. So after this, go get your curiosity fix. Okay.
Please do.
But today, let's face it, we're all kind of navigating this wild digital landscape together. And today we are going straight to the heart of something that I think is super important.
Okay.
How the creativity that we unleash online, whether it's through art, music, storytelling, whatever it may be, can actually be this amazing bridge
Oh, interesting.
that takes us away from that feeling of isolation and into genuine human connection.
I like that. A bridge.
A bridge, yeah.
Okay.
So for this deep dive, we have pulled together all sorts of interesting bits and pieces. We've got personal experiences, the nitty-gritty real stuff. We've got some practical ways that you can get creative online. And we even have some research that helps us understand why this link between our digital selves and our real-world connections is so powerful.
I love it.
Our mission today, the thing we really want to explore with you is how can you, by diving into digital art, maybe, tinkering with some music software, sharing your stories online, how can you actually build those authentic relationships that we all crave and give your well-being a boost?
That's the big question, right?
That is the big question. So, okay, let's unpack this.
Okay.
When we say digital creativity, what are we really talking about?
So at its core, digital creativity is using digital tools and online platforms to express yourself artistically and share that expression with the world. It can be creating a digital painting on your tablet, maybe using a program like Procreate, composing a tune, using music software on your laptop, writing a poem and sharing it on social media or putting together a video.
Yeah, and it's not just for people who consider themselves artists with a capital A.
Right.
If you have a device and an internet connection, you can tap into this world of digital creativity.
Absolutely.
What's really fascinating to me is that this act of creating and then putting it out there can be a surprisingly effective antidote to those feelings of loneliness that we can all experience.
100%. And, it gives you this really unique outlet to express who you are, what you're feeling, your own way of seeing the world.
Right.
And when you share that in the digital space, you're essentially sending out this signal.
Mm-hmm.
And that signal can reach others who resonate with what you're putting out there, who see a little bit of themselves in your art, music, or stories. And that shared resonance, that hey, me too moment, that's where connection begins to form.
Yeah, I can totally relate to that. There have definitely been times when I've been feeling like a bit of a hermit, lost in a project for hours on end. And I found that just messing around and creating something silly on my drawing app, even if it was just a goofy little character and I share it online, it sparks these totally unexpected little conversations. People would leave comments, share their own similar doodles or experiences, and all of a sudden that feeling of being totally on my own would kind of fade away.
I love that. And I think, I remember when I first started dabbling in making electronic music on my computer. Initially, it felt very solitary. It was just me and the software trying to make some decent sounds.
Right.
But then I started sharing short snippets online. And the feedback and the connections that I made with other amateur music makers were so surprising and incredibly encouraging.
Yeah.
And it really transformed what was a solo hobby at the time into this shared journey of learning and creating together.
It's like you find your people.
You find your people.
Through this shared creative outlet. So, okay, here's where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
It's not just about hitting share and hoping for the best. There seems to be something deeper happening in our brains when we actually engage in these creative activities.
Oh, for sure. And research has consistently shown that there are significant psychological benefits to engaging in creative expression, no matter the form. Studies have even shown a direct link between creative activities and the release of endorphins.
Okay.
Which are like your brain's natural happiness chemicals.
That's like a DIY happiness generator.
Exactly. And, these endorphins, they help reduce stress. They give our mood a natural lift. It's like an internal reward system that just kicks in from the act of making something.
That's so cool.
It is. And, going beyond that immediate mood boosts the act of creating, especially when you choose to share it. Really opens the door to something that's super vital for building strong connections. Vulnerability.
Okay.
When you put your art, your music, your stories out there, you're showing a part of your inner world to other people.
Which can feel a little nerve-wracking.
It can be. But Brene Brown, who has done a lot of work on vulnerability, She reminds us that being authentic, being true to who you are, and allowing yourself to be seen imperfections and all is actually the bedrock of genuine connection.
I love that.
When you share your authentic creative voice, you're more likely to attract people who truly resonate with that authenticity.
Right.
It acts as a powerful filter for building deeper and more trusting relationships than if you're trying to present this polished, inauthentic version of yourself.
So it's almost like the creative process itself is a form of self-care, and then sharing that creation is like extending a hand to connect with others on a deeper level.
Exactly. And it's
Yeah.
not just anecdotal evidence. There's a growing body of research. You can find discussions of places like Psychology Today and even the Harvard Business Review that highlights the therapeutic benefits of engaging in creativity. Studies looking specifically at art therapy, often published in journals like The Arts in Psychotherapy, consistently demonstrate how creative engagement can have a really positive impact on our mental well-being, help us process complex emotions and cope with different challenges.
It's so interesting to me that it's not just about creating in isolation. The community aspect seems to be like a really crucial piece of the puzzle.
It is. We see so many examples, even if they're not formal academic studies online, where people report a real boost in their sense of well-being just from being part of a supportive, creatively active group.
Yeah.
Sharing their work, getting feedback from people who understand their passion, connecting with others who are on a similar creative journey fosters this sense of belonging, which is such a direct antidote to those feelings of isolation.
So, okay, this all sounds amazing.
Yeah.
But for someone listening who's thinking, this is great, but where do I even begin?
Right.
What are some practical steps that they can take to start weaving digital creativity into their daily life and begin building those connections?
Well, the most important thing is to start small and ditch the pressure to create a masterpiece right out of the gate.
Okay.
Think little things. If you enjoy sketching, maybe do a quick 5-minute doodle on your phone or tablet and share it with a close friend or on a simple platform like Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
If music is your thing, maybe record a short musical idea on your phone and share it with others who have similar musical tastes on a platform like SoundCloud. Even just jotting down a short poem or a little snippet of a story and sharing it on social media can be a fantastic first step.
So it's about lowering that initial hurdle, not feeling like you need to be, a professional
Exactly.
out of the gate.
And once you feel comfortable putting your creations out there, even in a small way, consider actively seeking out and joining online communities that are centered around your creative interests.
Okay.
Platforms like Reddit, Instagram, and Discord have this massive range of groups dedicated to everything from digital painting and songwriting to fan fiction and photography. These online spaces can be so supportive and offer amazing opportunities to connect with like-minded folks, get valuable feedback on your work, and even find people to collaborate with.
Collaboration, that sounds really powerful.
It is working with others on a digital project, whether it's co-writing a song, illustrating a story together online, or contributing to a collaborative digital artwork, not only allows you to share the creative process, but also naturally encourages communication and strengthens the bond between you.
So you're kind of like working together on a shared mission in a creative way.
Exactly.
Okay. I think it's also important to touch on the idea of balance, right? We're talking about digital creativity, but we don't want people to just become, glued to their screens.
Absolutely. It's all about being mindful of your screen time and making sure you're also incorporating offline creative activities into your life.
Yeah.
Digital tools are amazing resources, but they shouldn't completely replace more tangible forms of creative expression. And taking regular breaks from screens is vital for preventing burnout and just looking after your overall well-being.
Yeah. So it's like a healthy mix of both worlds.
Yeah.
You mentioned a few platforms and tools earlier. Could you maybe expand on some helpful resources that our listeners might want to check out?
Sure, for those interested in getting into digital art tools like Procreate, which is really user-friendly for iPad users, and the Adobe Creative Suite, which offers a more comprehensive set of professional-grade applications like Photoshop and Illustrator, are popular starting points. For sharing music, SoundCloud is a widely used platform where you can easily upload your tracks and connect with other musicians and listeners. And if you're looking to really level up your creative skills, like platforms like Skillshare and YouTube are absolute gold mines of tutorials and courses covering pretty much every creative discipline imaginable.
Amazing. Okay, so we talked a bit about vulnerability being key to connection. Are there any examples of digital creators who have really embraced that and seen positive results in terms of, building a community around their work?
Yeah, while specific names might not always be universally recognizable, There are tons of inspiring examples across online platforms. Think about digital artists who openly share their creative struggles and their artistic processes on social media.
Mm-hmm.
Musicians who pour their personal experiences into their lyrics and connect deeply with listeners who have gone through similar things. Or storytellers who use their narratives to explore vulnerable aspects of the human experience.
Right.
These are the creators who often cultivate incredibly loyal and supportive communities around their work, precisely because of their willingness to be authentic and share their true selves, the messy bits included.
It's that feeling of I'm not the only one. When
Exactly.
someone shares something really personal and others resonate with it, it creates that instant connection.
Exactly. And you can often find these kinds of stories shared in online forums, on various storytelling podcasts, like the ones you might find on NPR or even in TED Talks, where creators reflect on their journeys and the profound impact their work has had on themselves and the communities they've built. It's really inspiring to witness.
Yeah, and for anyone listening who wants, a little bit of a creative boost, I always recommend books like Steal, Like an Artist by Austin Kleon,
The read book.
which is all about finding your own voice,
Yes.
drawing inspiration from the world around you,
Love it.
and The Creative Habit by Twyla Tharp,
Classic.
which is a more practical guide to cultivating the discipline to make creativity a part of your life.
I think those are fantastic recommendations.
If you're feeling inspired by this conversation, as I am, go ahead and give that like button a little click, share this deep dive with someone you think might benefit from it, and we would love to hear from you
Yes.
about your own experiences with digital creativity and connection.
Please share.
Share your stories in the comments below or on social media using the hashtag Digital Sleepover. Let's keep this creative conversation going.
I love it.
So the big takeaway here is that digital creativity isn't just about making cool stuff to look at or listen to online. It's a tool that can help us break through feelings of isolation and connect with others in a really genuine and meaningful way through this, act of shared expression.
I agree. By embracing our innate creative urges, even in those small, everyday ways, and choosing to share those expressions with others, we open ourselves up to connection, community, and a greater sense of well-being in this digital age.
Huge thanks for diving deep with us here on The Deep Dive. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our future explorations, and definitely take some time to go back and check out our previous deep dives.
Lots of good stuff there.
There's tons of fascinating stuff waiting for you there, and most importantly, come join the conversation, share your thoughts, and let's keep this creative energy flowing.
Absolutely. We love having you here.
And lastly, we'll leave you with this thought to ponder: how might embracing even just one small act of digital creativity today, maybe sharing a photo you love, writing down a quick thought online, or sketching a funny image that popped into your head, how might that subtly, even in a tiny way, shift your sense of connection with the world around you?
Think about it.
Give it some thought. We'll catch you in the next deep dive.
See you then.